In this video, we're going to be creating a donut chart KPI, and I'm here to tell you it's not going to be as bad as you might think. So all we're going to do here is we have our income and expenses sheet. We have one for each month along with its savings. What we got to do with this is we need to take the information we need to create this donut chart and the moving KPI. So all I'm going to do here is click into this. This is already set up as a table. So all I got to do is click into any cell, Control A, go to Insert, and then Pivot Table. I'm going to leave this all in one worksheet. We don't need to put on another one. Keep everything on this one worksheet. And for location, I'm going to put that somewhere down here. Doesn't really matter as long as you just keep it below just so it doesn't get anything off to the right. I'm going to click OK. And we have to think, okay, what do we need to pull out of this? Now, I'm going to put month as a filter. And the reason why I'm doing that is eventually when we do our donut chart, I want to have a slicer for the month. And in order to do that, month needs to be a filter. So we're all set up there. Now I'm going to put income, expenses, and savings in the values. Now all we got to do here is turn these into accounting. Now it could be accounting, currency, you can leave it as a number. It doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, with the donut chart, you're not going to see these numbers. But I like to keep it consistent and make sure that we're not getting too lazy with our work. Let's go back to home. Go to accounting, take away the zeros, and we're all done. So we're all good right now for the pivot table. We're going to go back to that in a little bit, but we're all good for right now. So all I'm going to do here is I'll go to column K. I'm going to add in income, expenses, savings, and then percent. And the first three are simple. We already have the information. So we just do equals and we just pull down information from here. And the reason why we're doing this is because the great thing about pivot tables, when we apply a filter, it'll always update based on what we do. So we got expenses, savings, and then for percent, remember the biggest thing for percent is how we find that is do we take the savings and divide it by the income. So all we can do here is equals, take our savings, and divide it by our income. And we're all good. Now, it's set up as a decimal because we did the math that way. So let's turn it into a percent. So click into it, percent. I'm going to leave it as it is right now with no decimals. If you want to add in a decimal, by all means, you can. You can do that right here. But I'm going to leave it the way it is as it is right here. So we have everything that we need right here. We have our income, expenses, savings, and percent. Now we can put together our donut chart and our running KPI. So we have to think, what are the two parts that we need for this donut chart? It's going to be the expenses and the savings because both of them combined will equal the income. So I'm going to just select those two for right now, hover over those, go to insert, the pie chart, and go to donut chart. Now move that right over here for right now. It doesn't matter too much. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to change up the colors. I don't like the orange and the blue. I want the savings to stick out way more than the expenses because expenses don't really matter too much for what we're trying to show off. So I'm going to click into the orange, double click there. I'm going to turn that to this darker blue. Like I said, you can do whatever color you want. I would prefer you pick something more bold, something that's going to really stand out. And we're all good there. Now let me go to the blue, and I'm going to turn this into like a gray. That looks good. Cool. And I get rid of this since we don't need that anymore. So that looks a little bit better. That definitely stands out. That makes you realize, okay, the eyes are supposed to go to the darker color. That's supposed to be what's most important. So we have all that right here. I'm going to change this really quickly to savings percent. Just so we know what we're talking about. You can put that once again to whatever you want. Doesn't really matter too much. Just to keep it consistent. Okay, so we have that. Now we have to have two more parts. We need the percent and we need the slicer. So let's do the percent. And this one's pretty easy, actually. So all I got to do is go back to insert and we're going to add a text box right here. Let's put it right there. Good. Now, when you add the percentage, you're not going to put anything in this box. You go up here to the bar. That's where you go equals and you click on the cell we want, which is 41%. Click enter and we're all good. Now for this one, I'm going to center it the way I want and I'll bold it, make it a little bit larger. And I'm going to leave it right there for now. Like I said, there's much more things we could do in order to work with this, but that's how it's going to be set up. So we're all set up there with our percentage, and that looks pretty good. Now, to put this to work, we have to now put in our slicer. So going back to our pivot table, go to pivot table analyze, and then insert slicer. And so it asks you what do you want to insert. We're going to do the month. Click OK. Let's bring that over here. Get that lined up. And let's make this not as tall. Okay, perfect. So, moment of truth, right? So the whole point is right now we're going to select on a month and it will update with the savings percentage of the month. So let's click into February and there we go. It updates 52. Let's check out March, April, May, June, all of that. Now let's say you want to check multiple months. Let's say, okay, how did I do in the summer? We could click that button and we select all the summer months and we get our percentage right there. So that's how you set up the donut chart with the KPI. Like I said, there's many more situations you use this, but that's just a quick, easy way to set this up. So I could definitely add some more pop to your dashboards and add a little bit more context to your work. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you on the next one.